Hola travellers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're heading to the largest and most spectacular country in South America, Brazil. A land of jaw-dropping natural wonders, pulsating cities, gorgeous beaches, and one of the world's most vibrant and diverse cultures. From the thundering waterfalls of Iguazu to the carnival streets of Rio de Janeiro and the mysterious depths of the Amazon, Brazil operates on a scale that's genuinely difficult to comprehend. 10. Olinda. We begin our Brazilian adventure in Olinda, a historic colonial town in the northeast of Brazil that's one of the country's hidden treasures. Perched on a series of hills overlooking the city of Recife and the Atlantic Ocean, Olinda's beautifully preserved colonial architecture, colourful houses, and cobbled streets have earned it a place on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Olinda's art scene is extraordinary. Studios and galleries are tucked into almost every building, and the town is famous for its tradition of giant puppets, or bonecos gigantes, which parade through the streets during Carnival. And speaking of Carnival, Olinda's street festival is widely regarded as one of the best in Brazil, a more intimate and joyful alternative to the famous Rio spectacle. 9. The Pantanal. Next we head to the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland and one of the greatest wildlife destinations on the planet. Spanning parts of Brazil, Bolivia and Paraguay, this extraordinary ecosystem covers over 150,000 square kilometers and is home to an astonishing diversity of wildlife. Unlike the dense Amazon rainforest, the Pantanal's open landscape makes wildlife incredibly easy to spot. Jaguars, giant otters, capybaras, giant anteaters, tapirs, caimans, and hundreds of bird species, including the magnificent hyacinth macaque, the world's largest parrot, can all be seen here in remarkable abundance. 8. Florianopolis. At number 8, we head south to Florianopolis, an island city in southern Brazil that has become one of the country's trendiest and most beautiful destinations. Known locally as Floripa, this island boasts over 40 beaches, ranging from wild surf-battered Atlantic shores to calm, protected lagoons. Joaquina Beach is famous for its sand dunes. It's one of the only places in Brazil where you can go sandboarding, while Lagoa da Conceição is a beautiful saltwater lagoon surrounded by hills and home to a vibrant bar and restaurant scene. The island also has a fascinating cultural heritage from its Azorean Portuguese settlers, with beautiful 18th century villages like Santo Antonio de Lisboa, preserving traditions that have long since disappeared back in Portugal. Florianopolis manages to combine natural beauty with a sophisticated urban culture in a way very few places can match. Sete Lençóis Maranhenses. Coming in at number 7 is one of the most extraordinary landscapes on Earth, the Lençóis Maranhenses National Park. Imagine a vast desert of brilliant white sand dunes stretching to the horizon. But between the dunes, during the rainy season, crystal clear freshwater lagoons of the deepest blue and turquoise fill the valleys between the sands. The result is one of the most surreal and beautiful landscapes you will ever see. An alien world of white and blue, utterly unlike anything else in Brazil, or indeed anywhere in the world. The lagoons are warm, clear and full of fish, and swimming in them is one of the great natural experiences of South America. 6. Salvador. At number 6, we arrive in Salvador, the soul of Brazil. As the first colonial capital of Brazil and the historic heart of Afro-Brazilian culture, Salvador is a city of extraordinary vibrancy, colour and spiritual depth. The Pelourinho neighbourhood, Salvador's historic centre, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its colonial-era churches and mansions painted in vivid yellows, blues and pinks. Their facades rise above cobblestone streets where capoeira is practiced in the open air and the sound of drums is never far away. The city's food is equally distinctive. Acarajé, black-eyed pea fritters filled with shrimp, moqueca, a rich coconut milk seafood stew, and pão de queijo, cheese bread, are all must-tries. Salvador's carnival is another extraordinary spectacle. 2 million people, 3 kilometers of music, dancing, and pure celebration. 5. Fernando de Noronha. At number 5, we head out into the Atlantic Ocean to Fernando de Noronha, a remote volcanic archipelago some 350 kilometers off the northeast coast of Brazil, and one of the most beautiful island destinations on the planet. With strictly limited visitor numbers to protect its extraordinary marine environment, Fernando de Noronha is pristine, uncrowded, and breathtakingly beautiful. The diving and snorkeling here is world-class. The crystal clear warm waters are home to spinner dolphins, sea turtles, reef sharks, and extraordinary coral gardens. On land, the dramatic volcanic rock formations, red soil paths, and white sand beaches, like Baía do Sancho, often rated among the most beautiful beaches in the world, make this a paradise above the water too. 4. The Amazon. Number 4 is the Amazon, the world's greatest rainforest covering over 5 million square kilometers and home to an estimated 10% of all species on Earth. To enter the Amazon is to enter the lungs of the world, a vast, primeval, endlessly complex ecosystem that operates on a scale the human mind struggles to process. Manaus, deep in the heart of the Brazilian Amazon, is the gateway for most visitors. From here you can take river cruises, stay at jungle lodges, and go on guided canoe trips into the forest to spot pink river dolphins, anacondas, poison dart frogs, toucans, macaws, and howler monkeys. Night walks and night boat trips reveal a whole different world of nocturnal creatures. One of the most extraordinary sights is the meeting of the waters, where the dark, tea-coloured Rio Negro meets the sandy-coloured Amazon River, and the two flow side by side without mixing for several kilometres due to differences in temperature, speed, and density. The Amazon is humbling, magnificent, and absolutely unforgettable. 3. Iguaçu Falls. At number 3, we have one of the greatest natural wonders on the planet, Iguaçu Falls. Straddling the border between Brazil and Argentina, Iguaçu is a system of 275 individual waterfalls stretching nearly 3 kilometers wide, making it significantly wider than Niagara and more dramatic than Victoria Falls. The Brazilian side offers the classic panoramic view, a series of elevated walkways allowing you to see the full scale and breadth of the falls, culminating in a viewing platform at the base of the most powerful drop, a wall of white water and spray so overwhelming it's almost impossible to process. The surrounding subtropical rainforest is itself extraordinary, teeming with wildlife. Coatis roam the paths, toucans and parrots flash through the canopy, and giant butterflies drift through the mist from the falls. Iguaçu is one of those places that no photograph can possibly prepare you for. 2. Rio de Janeiro. Coming in at number 2 is Rio de Janeiro, one of the most dramatically beautiful cities in the world. Set between mountains, rainforest and ocean, Rio's setting alone would make it extraordinary. But add in the iconic beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema, the soaring statue of Christ the Redeemer, the Great Dome of Sugarloaf Mountain, and the feverish energy of Carnival, and you have a city that seems almost too good to be real. Taking the cog railway up through the Atlantic forest to the summit of Corcovado Mountain, where the 30-meter-high Christ the Redeemer gazes out over the city, is one of the great experiences in South America. The cable car to the top of Sugarloaf at sunset, with the city glittering below and the ocean stretching to the horizon, is equally magnificent. Rio's beaches are legendary. Ipanema's golden stretch of sand has a social geography all its own, with different sections dedicated to different communities. The food scene, from corner boteco bars serving ice-cold draft beer and bar snacks to the great churrascarias with their endless grilled meats, is irresistible. Rio is overwhelming, exhilarating, and impossible to forget. São Paulo. And at number 1, São Paulo. Brazil's vast, relentless, and endlessly fascinating megacity is often overlooked by first-time visitors, who head straight for Rio or the beaches. That's their loss because São Paulo rewards those who give it time in ways that few other cities in the world can match. São Paulo is the largest city in the Southern Hemisphere, a sea of skyscrapers and neighbourhoods stretching as far as the eye can see. But within this urban giant are some of the best restaurants in South America, the most vibrant arts and cultural scene in Brazil, and extraordinary Japanese, Italian, and Lebanese communities, each with their own distinct culinary traditions and neighbourhoods to explore. The Ibirapuera Park is São Paulo's green lung, housing the Museum of Modern Art, the Afro-Brazil Museum, and beautiful gardens. The Pinacoteca Art Museum holds Brazil's most important collection of Brazilian art. And the Mercadão, the municipal market, is a cathedral of food where stalls overflow with exotic fruits, cheeses, cured meats, and every spice and ingredient imaginable. São Paulo is raw, unpolished, and relentlessly energetic. But it is alive in a way that gets under your skin and stays with you long after you've left. And there you have it, the top 10 places to visit in Brazil. Which of these incredible destinations would you visit first? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel inspiration. Until next time, boa viagem!